On this week's show, we're discussing Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Modern Warfare?
He's rusty. He's rusty.
I've missed 1 week. On this week's show, we're discussing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 revealed, 007 First Light reviews, The Witcher 3 is back with a brand new expansion, and the Steam Deck turns up the valves on the price. All that and much, much more on this week's GamerGuild Podcast. Good game, everyone, and welcome back to the GamerGuild Podcast, your weekly show where we round up all the week's video game stories and news for your listening or viewing pleasure right here on youtube.com/GamerGuildTV and up there in the digital cloud on your podcast preference of choice. Podcast players for this week are myself, Mr. Richie. I have two co-hosts this week for the first time in a long time. The Arcane Rogue, Mr. Chris.
What an episode we have lined up.
And
excited.
And the techie teacher, Mr. Tom.
Hey, I'm back again. What is this, like 2 weeks in a row, literally?
And I'm
More
here.
importantly, the planets have aligned. I don't think we've done an episode. Have we ever done an episode of this show together?
I'm not sure
I don't believe we have.
I don't think, Tom, thinking of like the age of your children, you took a backseat when your first child was born. I'm guessing if memory serves me right. So that was what, 5 years ago nearly?
Yep.
4 years
5
ago?
years. I mean, the lines do tell. The lines do tell.
So, yeah, I think we've all been back. I think you were maybe back for an anniversary stream or two, which we've done over the years to celebrate like anniversaries of the channel, as Rob has. But yeah, I don't think this is probably a first for the GamerGuild podcast, and I say it's new form. We're up to 145 episodes, but
it took us 145 episodes to get all three founders together.
It's good to know we're all still alive in today's world, though. I'll take that one.
There's no time like the present, right? There's no time like the present.
It'd be interesting to go back to the last time we actually held like a podcast together like this, or whether it was Sounds of Stadia or Talking the PS, and just see how much older we've got. See if we have visually aged.
I think that's a guarantee. Of all the things in the world, that is a guarantee. But what a week to be back, though. The news this week when I was creating the doc for it, it is stacked. This is before State of Play next week, Summer Game Fest, and the Xbox Showcase. We already have a stacked week of news. So I'm just glad it happened now.
I forgot about State of Play.
Everything's incoming from next Tuesday. So best
get all of this out of the weeks, guys. It's going to be a busy few weeks.
Summer of gaming.
I know, but there's already so many games that have just come out as well. It's like we don't need any more games yet. I think we're good for the year.
We're just greedy. That's it.
Indeed. Talking about being greedy, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, or ring that bell to get kept in the loop of all amazing content here at GamerGuildTV, such as, Chris, your weekly live stream was 007 First Light. That's also one of our news topics, so do you want to touch on the whole copyright controversy that happened this week?
Yeah,
and we'll talk about the review in the news section.
Yeah, that's a good call, yeah. So as everyone knows, I've been doing basically like weekly playthroughs of like retro James Bond 007 games, and this week obviously we had the launch of 007 First Light. I ordered it, pre-ordered through Amazon, and lo and behold, after we recorded last week, on the Sunday morning of all things, when I was a bit hungover in all honesty from our bottomless brunch we had on the Saturday, it just showed up on the door at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I googled, I double checked, and it didn't come out till the 27th, so I was getting it 4 days early, essentially, somehow. So you can imagine, as a content creator, checked online, checked everything. No one had videos up of it. No one had gameplay up of it. So I thought, I'll do the right thing for our audience and get that shit out there into the wild. So I did the opening 40 minutes, the first level of the game on disc, physical. And get to kind of the crescendo where the music swells and you're about to get the opening credits and the music and the theme plays. And it said I needed a digital day one patch update to play more of the game. So I managed to squeeze 40 minutes out of it. And I put that live Monday morning, went up 9 o'clock, I think, 9 a.m. And by I think about midday, it was already past 10,000 views, and it was getting berated with comments. People were going, some were nice, some were not so nice. How has he got this so early? Can you put up a video where you're not talking? Things like that. Other ones going, oh, yeah, to get this, you need to become a YouTube creator and do that to get early access and all this stuff. And yeah, mixed bag, but I think
Amazon
the
just
most
delivered really early.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, I think it got to about 3:00 in the afternoon, and then IO Interactive struck with their copyright strike, and the video got took down. And this is, we should say, after six and a half years, this was the first official strike on the channel. So YouTube channels get 3 strikes and you're out, and they just delete your shit. The whole content gone, everything. So it wasn't like panic station or anything, but it was more like disappointment of like, oh man, the first time we've got like genuine early content that beats this, from what I saw, the rest of the world through Amazon's mess up.
We haven't signed any NDAs or anything with IO Interactive or anything. You literally just bought the game as a just normal consumer, and it got delivered early.
Didn't even buy the deluxe edition. Didn't even buy the deluxe edition. So obviously they had their kind of lock in place to stop me playing the full game early. Not that we would have been able to get it up, but another day passed anyway. We could go through, I think it's called copyright school within YouTube. We get an option to go through copyright school to lift the ban, but the ban lifts naturally after 90 days, which, as you know, you need to be in the here and now to capture the zeitgeist and the chitter-chatter. So that was a bit of a disappointment, but one of the other options was to contact IO, so I thought, you know what, Monday evening, I'll just send them an email at like 10:30 at night. Dear community at IO, or whatever it was, I apologise. I didn't mean to breach any kind of release date. I literally pre-ordered it through Amazon. I can prove my pre-order. I've got a physical copy, so there's no way I've got it like illicitly. I just have a copy of the game, and we're a big fan of the game. We're looking forward to one of our most touted, if not probably a lot of our most anticipated game of the year. We'd love to work more collaboratively with you in the future. That kind of like olive branch thing, but at the same time I said we're also a really small channel, and it's kind of important to us to like not lose out on this. And within about 10 minutes they mail back saying, yeah, no problem, get me the link and I'll lift the claim. Now early access is out, so I was like, beautiful, sent the link. Nothing happened for several hours. I was like, oh well, maybe the quick response and then nothing. But within a few hours it lifted, I think, on the next morning. So kind of in line with the world getting early access and stuff. It's back up. It's got about 15,000 views. And the channel, I think, after last week, I think, Tom, we celebrated 4K mark.
Yeah, 4K.
It blew us right up past 4.5. So just like that, We've got another 500 from... And lo and behold, who would know that having relevant... up-to-date content earlier than most people of a AAA blockbuster game gets some eyes on your channel and beats the algorithm a little bit. So it's
welcome aboard, everybody.
Welcome aboard. Yes, all the new faces out there. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for watching all the Bond content, because there's another one dropped tonight in 007 Bloodstone, which was a bit behind schedule, but it's there. And what a well-worn adventure. And I'm looking forward to talking about probably one of the best games of the year so far in the news.
Oddly enough, on the back of you pre-ordering and getting this copyright strike, I saw that. Oh yeah, I meant to pre-order that, so I pre-ordered it, and I also received my copy early.
Hey,
so technically, the day we're recording, Friday the 29th, is the release day of this game. So I got it on Wednesday evening.
Wow. So John and Amazon just messing up logistics dispatch.
Yeah, and I ordered it, I think, on Monday.
You can't argue with that turnaround, can you, for physical stuff?
I know we critique them, but Amazon has the IP now, so they can do what they want.
That is true. Maybe it was their who they can only blame themselves.
We will get this game out of people, damn it.
But what a game though.
Have either of you been playing anything other than 007 First Light? Because we do have our what we've been playing section, but if it is just 007 First Light, we'll just go straight into the news.
I wrapped up on Mixtape, got the platinum in that one. Me and Tom spoke about it last week. Probably got the platinum in less than 5 hours. Highly recommend. I know you weren't here, Richie, but it's basically, when I posted my platinum tweet out, it's Guardians of the Galaxy if it had a baby with Telltale Games. That's all you really need to know about it. Nothing to do with space, but just the soundtrack, the music stuff, it aligns perfectly. And definitely worth it for a teen experience to reminisce of the good old days when we didn't have as many wrinkles and lines, Tom, or grey hairs.
But you know what? Saying that though, I will say though that I've had a bit of a detox week away from gaming where I've not really been doing that. But what I will say is, I have. No. It's all linked. It's all linked. You talk about mixtape. You talk about like the banging soundtrack. I've really sort of delved deep into like that library of like the 80s like glam metal, power metal, and stuff like that. Because we've really found like. Josh loves Transformers now, and we just watched Transformers 1 the other day, and he is just like on such a Transformers kick. So for me, it's just taken me back so nostalgically with like my childhood of the cartoons, the music, like all of that stuff right there. So, you know, no gaming, but I have been living the dream as far as I'm concerned.
That's awesome. I honestly thought you were going to say not Josh loves Transformers. Josh has got really, really into power metal. Like most of the kids are like listening to like
one day
Disney songs,
Korean demon hunters or whatever it is, and your
kid is
listening to hair metal.
I could see it still. I could see it.
Yeah,
it's fair.
Oh, I've got a choice here. Tom, would you like to introduce us to the?
Oh, absolutely, mate. It's got to be, hasn't it? We've got to get into the graciously gathered GamerGuild Gazette, a.k.a. The News.
The News. And as always, our news is brought to you by our wonderful guild heroes, which you can join for as little as 99p, giving you early access to this very show. And I think some of your 007 stuff has went up early access, hasn't it, Chris?
It did, yeah. Some of it went up earlier, but I think it's all out now. Unless I dare lift the lid on the terrible 007 Legends after the fact. But I think I'm happy with First Light for now.
I think you should do it after First Light. We won't distract you from
bring me
First
back
Light.
down to earth.
Yeah, bring you back down to earth for something awesome. 007 First Light reviews are in. Tom, have you played it?
I have not played it, but I've been keeping a very close eye on this thing, and my God, even to the point that I've just seen it out in the shops, out and about. It's setting itself up for being something pretty special, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to chime in on that.
Yep. Well, I think we need to stay far away from spoilers as possible because I'm only about 5 hours in, so I haven't. Had that much time as much time as you have, Chris. So far,
is that because I got it early?
Yeah, I mean, I technically got it early, but I basically had one evening to play.
Yeah, I'm about 10 or so hours in, so I'm probably two, 3 nights, give or take. Because even though I got it early, I still had to wait until early access to actually get full access to beyond the first level. But yeah, spoiler free, Rich. I think you start because I've already chatted a little bit about it to begin with.
So for context for you, Chris, I'm currently in the nightclub.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know,
I am
just
well
so you
beyond
know,
that. Then,
yeah. It's awesome.
In the club.
I don't know. It's exactly the game I want. It's that halfway between an Uncharted style game. But IO have taken the elements from what they've learned from the Hitman World of Assassination stuff and incorporated that perfectly while bringing the IP of Bond and doing their own thing with it. Mm-hmm. I don't have... I mean, I'm only early in the game, but I can't sing this game's praises enough so far.
Yeah, somebody who's a little bit more on the outside of it. When you say Uncharted and Hitman,
yes.
Are they interlinked, or are they is this a section that is very Uncharted gameplay followed by a section that is very Hitman?
Yeah, so throughout it, it's a good mix. I would echo Richie where it's Uncharted in terms of the characters, the story, the dialogue back and forth as the level kicks over. There's constant chitter chatter. Yeah, there's a good back and forth where Hitman, I mean, he's a silent protagonist pretty much, isn't he, right? So he just walks around and kills people. This one, again, very very Naughty Dog style of your partner or your colleagues or someone in your earpiece is constantly pushing the narrative along, pushing development along, little anecdotes and stories, so you feel the character of Bond and his team around him coming to life throughout every 10-minute interval. You get a little bit of chitter-chatter.
It's actually a little bit Metal Gear Solid in that sense, where instead of stopping with to check the comms, they're talking in your ear as you're playing live.
Yeah, and it's not much of a spoiler for any Bond fans out there. It's Moneypenny who does that in this instance, so it ties in quite well. Even though she traditionally sits behind a desk, she's got a lot more involvement in this game. Cool. But in terms of the Hitman element, you basically get almost like a character cutscene, then a bit of linear traversal, potentially climbing, potentially sneaking around. But then what I've found is every maybe 2 to 3 missions, you get a Hitman-esque mini open world area, like Richie said, a nightclub or a big manor house or an open world setting, which I'm not going to skip too far ahead. And then that's when it becomes Hitman, where you've got multiple routes, multiple opportunities to eavesdrop on people, find information, find parts like secret entranceways or windows to climb out of, or key cards to steal to get into certain areas that you wouldn't be able to. And you can basically just choose your own route to get to ultimately funnel down to the story, and then it funnels back into a little bit of a cutscene, a little bit of narrative, bit of chatter over your earpiece to push the narrative along a little bit to eventually like a crescendo at the end of each level.
So
and then
that
it
is
goes
more
into
of
the
the
next
Hitman
bit.
style stuff. Then
Absolutely,
I've just remembered.
I
I actually passed the nightclub. I'm at the hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
So the
but
next
when
big set
it's
piece.
like, so the nightclub is kind of your first taste of that more open world style, that open zone thing where you enter this area, you have a mission to get close to someone, and there's multiple ways to tackle it to get to them, and multiple ways that can plan out different routes. And with Hitman, when you can go into your pause menus, you can see different opportunities and stuff after you've completed it. That exists in this game, so it's designed for you to go back and replay levels, but with a specific goal in mind. I am going to get to this person by doing this, setting off this sequence of events which you probably never even encountered when you played it naturally.
And it really fits with the narrative of it's Bond, he's a spy, so it all makes sense. So when they announced IO were doing Bond, it kind of just was like that tick box, that absolutely fits the bill. And then another bit out element in terms of just like the gadgets and the tech he's got, it reminds me a lot of Watch Dogs 1 and 2, in a really in the best way of, he's a spy, but he has the gadgets, so it's not out of place when he's maybe able to hack a control panel or turn a CCTV camera off. They do limit that really well by you pick up essentially, it's a bit gamified, but you pick up batteries in the world to do the electronic hacking, and you pick up chemicals in the world from like cleaning fluid or dishwasher, everything like that, to make chemical things like poison dart. So it doesn't scientifically work, but in the terms of the gameplay, you can't just do it free for all and hack every door and hack every console. But basically you have to scrounge around and find little pieces, so which gives you difficulty spikes depending on where you end up.
And you have to, again, like Hitman, you have to pick your loadout going into missions.
Okay.
So in a sense, it's all done via Q branch, so it's all in world. It makes sense.
And in essence, then, so it's like a, I don't want to call it like a baby's first Hitman, but it's a much more entry level Hitman in the sense that it's still got the meat there, but it's like a lot more accessible. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
I would say so,
but not in a way where it feels diluted, because it's not trying to be Hitman. They've just taken the elements out of Hitman that makes sense for this game.
Yeah, and that's where I think the narrative Naughty Dog pros come into it, where actually Hitman, it had its missions, but you basically had a target and you had a loose thread connecting you to basically kill the target. This one, it has that plot points ticking over, it has someone in your ear, and the people you interact with, the level Richie's referencing in the nightclub, there's a few decisions I made that some of the decisions can come back around at the end of the level. Whether you went one path or the other path, they can loop full circle and come around, which was really interesting. Of like a decision I made 20 minutes prior that backfired on me at the end of a level. It was like, oh shit, didn't know that was going to happen. I thought we'd seen the end of character X, and it was like, nope, because of something I did, that may have messed up the mission for me, and Bond gets in trouble, and he's that atypical character. To read a few reviews, I guess, to bring it tighter together,
we should
rather than just our opinions of it. The people who've played the game fully, like I said, 87 on Metacritic. VGC gave it a 10 out of 10. They said, First Light may be the best James Bond game ever. The way IO has translated the Bond fantasy into a 14-hour globe-trotting epic is masterful. It's a game full of spectacle, humour, action, and romance. Everything James Bond should be. The new owners, Amazon, must ensure this franchise continues, because there is a little bear in there that this was all signed off before Amazon acquired the rights, so they could just see this as a one and done. They'd be fucking idiots to do so. But there is that risk. I guess to pull another one, because it's getting high praise. I think it's 9s and 10s across the board.
Yeah, on PlayStation at the time of recording, it's currently sat on 87.
can't really argue with that. IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. They said, while it's impossible to argue 007 First Light shares seismic importance of 1997's GoldenEye, it's nonetheless the best Bond game I've ever played. Demonstrably obsessed with bringing the Bond fantasy to life in a way no game has ever managed before. IO successfully managed to change the Bond fantasy to bring it to life in a way no game has ever done before. And then they go on a little bit about the evolution of young Bond and stuff. And I guess for you, Richie, from just playing the opening hours, what are your thoughts on this younger new Bond? Because it's very much an origin story. He's 26-year-old in it.
It's an origin story, but they're doing their own origin for Bond, so they're not doing the classic, he was a Navy commander thing.
It's before that, yeah.
It's before that, and you get recruited into the reset up 00 program. But it's set in the modern world, so the 00 program used to exist, was decommissioned, and now it's getting restarted, and you're kind of shoehorned into it as the 7th recruit. 6 have already went through basic training when you join.
Wonder what number they'll give him. If he gets it. But yeah, Patrick Gibson, by the way, as Bond in it, he delivers that right element of suave, sexy, confident.
For a young Bond who is not yet 007, because, I mean, the whole tagline for the game is end the number. Mm-hmm. So I think he's hitting all the beats right. He's got that confidence about him. He is, as you mentioned, he is that suave guy. You can see him very easily developing into the Bond you know, regardless which Bond you pick.
Yeah, and we've seen in the movie, Daniel Craig was he just got his 00 status at the beginning of Casino Royale, but we've never gone what was he as a youth? How did he learn? Was it SS? Was he a commander in the Navy? How did he get to actually being a 00 agent?
I think it's actually said in the game he's 25 at this point. He's very, very green in that sense.
He's a kid.
Yeah, he is.
He's a lot younger than us. But that's really interesting, and I think one of the credits I'll say is if I think I messaged our other friend about it, who's probably the biggest Bond fan I know, and said if MGM don't consider him for the actual Bond, because I always worry when they recast the movies they're going to go with a bigger name, and actually think the actor, the voice actor Patrick Gibson who does it, he's young in himself, but everything he's portrayed here, if they pluck out a no big name to do the movie franchise, I don't see why he wouldn't be in with a shot. He's literally showcasing who Bond should be. And it's that. I can see why they wouldn't, because it's not a name. But how much of a better screen test do you need than go play this 15-hour narrative that is literally James Bond and I am James Bond? I can do all that. I've showcased that.
I didn't realise he was actually Dexter
Irish.
From the prequel series.
So he's
I've
got
only watched that
acting credentials as well.
Yeah, he's got full-on acting credentials. He's in things like The Tudors, Dexter original thing, and he was in the film Tolkien, which I haven't seen. Well,
I've seen it, but I wouldn't have placed him. He must have been one of the university friends at the tea party. But that adds a lot of credit to him then. I thought he was just an up-and-coming mocap actor, a gaming voice actor. I didn't realise he was actually in stuff, so even better.
Oh, this is his first video game.
Wow. Great stuff. Yeah. Great way to start. In terms of graphics and performance, Richie, I'm playing on base PS5. Not noticed anything. I had no
PS5 on the
breaks. On the Portal. Using your Q gadgets.
Yeah, I've had a few things where I felt mechanically things have been a bit slightly glitch. I've definitely pressed a button to go into cover and he hasn't. There's been a few little things where a few little patches have probably smoothed that out. Performance has been rock solid. Graphics have been exactly what I expected them to be. Not the most visually stunning game I've ever seen. I keep going back to Uncharted 4 as my benchmark for the style of game. Uncharted 4 is a lot prettier, in my opinion.
Okay.
But it's good enough.
Yeah, I think in the opening scene, you're literally washed up on an island in Iceland, and it's very reminiscent of that Uncharted 4 scene when he gets washed up on an island in the rain. It's almost one for one.
I feel it's the character models more than the environments, where I feel like you could do a bit more, but yeah.
And I think this is where we need to give IO credit. I think from Hitman up to this, it's a huge step up for them.
Yeah.
They've always done the vistas and the layout, but when you're saying about like a couple of glitchy things, for me, that's Hitman and IO's
lessons to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
This with where I talk about the graphics going, it's not as the character models aren't as stunning as like say in Uncharted 4. There's also a lot of them on the screen at any given time.
Oh yeah.
And proper
The
reflections.
NPCs.
If you walk past a mirror, you're getting reflections. You're not getting this like hashed out grey effect that a lot of modern games have. Even games that are a lot prettier than this. So it's one of the things I always find slightly immersion breaking, where you look in the mirror with your character and you just see grey. It's like,
Yeah.
So
Or
when
it's
you
broke,
mentioned-
the mirror's smashed.
When you mentioned the character models before, it always takes me back to like thinking about how like the Ubisoft games are like slightly uncanny valley, aren't they? Or like
where
or even
Cassandra
Bethesda,
on there,
even Bethesda.
Cassandra looks amazing. Everyone around her looks shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Better than that. I'd say better than Ubisoft.
Better
the
than
variety,
that. Cool.
the variety, and bear in mind this like nightclub level Rich is talking about has like maybe 100 plus on
hundreds of
scene
people
at any given time.
and it's seamless. I'm playing on performance mode, which is the default. I did look at high def mode, but whatever they call it. But
that way you can't
I
hear it?
literally didn't see a difference. But there again, I was playing base PS4 on the Portal. If you're playing, you might see a difference, Chris, on a 4K screen. So there could be that, but I didn't notice a difference, so I left with performance. And when I'm walking through that nightclub with literally hundreds of people dancing away, music blaring, all sorts of lighting effects, because it is a full-on nightclub.
It feels a lived-in nightclub.
And-
I don't know if
and
you
it's
fell
only
up with the
now-
DualSense.
It's literally only now I'm talking about it, I realised how smooth it was because I didn't notice anything. And I think that is the exact sign you're looking for.
DualSense controller beats with the bass of the music
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
while you're playing, so you're getting a really
like it
good
when they
like
do that. We like it when they
tactile
do that,
feel
yeah.
of like, I'm here, I am in this grungy nightclub. It did make me realise like I hate nightclubs, full stop,
God.
as well, because I was like, it's so realistic. I was like, I don't want to be anywhere around these sweaty people or this dark neon lit beat loud place. It was like,
Can I
no
go up to
thanks.
the DJ and ask him to turn it down a bit?
Yeah, and you know a drink's going to cost like £10 for
Yeah.
a
This
pint
is like
or something.
this is when we find out the PS6 is going to have like smell-o-vision as well, so it's going to come out the controller and just smell like that sweaty, disgusting,
don't need
or
a
even
PS6
stickiness, the
anytime soon.
stickiness of the floor.
But yeah, so like nothing visually. Again, they lean on like the vistas. It does a lot of globe trotting, like all big adventure Bond games or movies do, where they do very well level to level, showcasing like he's a beautiful like forest jungle, he's a beautiful like old landscape, he's a beautiful vista of the ocean, and you jump around quite a bit mission to mission for that one. Very Bond style. And I will compliment the music throughout. I think starting with the opening mission where it swells with a couple of those violin Bond themes towards the intro kicking off, and then every level to level, it's got that almost like that subtle spy sound to it. I can't even describe what it is, but as soon as you hear it, you'll be like, all right,
Have you
I'm
noticed?
sneaking, I'm
there's
doing
A
stuff.
few times, Chris, you got to do something. It almost feels like the full Bond theme wants to kick in, that it just never quite does. You get a few notes. It's like, oh, come on! I'm waiting for the
nice.
moment that I can tell. It's one of them. Like I already know there's going to be a moment in this game where full on hits as a major story beat. I was like,
I fully
you
know
are
how to, like,
teasing
blue ball
me,
you.
Io. You are teasing me about this.
and that's what's quite good is that they don't overmuch. But let's face it, if you have the Bond theme tune, you're going to use it. It's like the Indiana Jones game when that used it, and it was like, yes, like use it. It's one of the most iconic sounds in the history of cinema. Use it, lean on it.
I think this goes back to IO and how they're handling this IP. I think they're doing it perfectly from what I've experienced so far. It's like, I don't need the Bond theme to hit every single time I do anything, but a few notes will make me think of the Bond theme here and there. It's like going, oh, here we go. Like it gets you.
Yeah, really, really good. I will say as well, in terms of just like the music throughout, it really brings each level kind of something different. There's a couple of bits that I've not reached yet in the game, but I was listening to some reviews on YouTube, and they were saying one of the songs that plays later on in the game is the song that's played in the credits for the last Daniel Craig movie, but it's a saxophone version.
Nice.
So, like, within the game, there's, like, little hidden Easter eggs. And I think that's one of the best things I've loved about, as Richie said, when you get a Q branch, where you get all your gadgets and stuff before you head into a mission, essentially. If you walk around, just listen to the NPCs, they're referencing and talking about old Bond gadgets and stuff, like jetpacks and shoes with little daggers inside them and crocodiles. And it's like, when I'm hearing them talk about it, I'm like, Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Pierce Brosnan. Like, I'm hearing all these things and going, that's so cool that even though they're not here, they're able to reference them in such like a subtle way that fans will get it. If not, you're just like, it's just two random employees chit-chatting about their job in the tech department. But I'm like, yes, I get that. That's a reference. That's cool.
Everyone keeps telling you to stay away from Basil and accounts because he's pissed off at you.
Because you blow shit up.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But yeah, so far, in summary, it's absolute... probably say 9 out of 10 for me if I was to put a number on it, where I do feel like a sequel would be able to elevate to the next thing. But going into it, I knew it was going to be close to Uncharted, the open world of Hitman, and as I said, the little Watch Dogs way combat sprinkled in, because the combat's really fun as well. It's actually, they're surprisingly refrained from gun combat. It is very much more stealth, which I guess he's a spy at the end of the day. But what I love, and you'll agree probably, Richie, is when you typically leaned into sneaking around and hacking stuff, but if an enemy pulls a gun on you, it pops up at the top with a red license to kill logo. And then you can shoot back.
This yet.
Have you not? How have you got that far in the game? Oh, sorry.
Because I haven't got a live firearm yet.
Oh well, maybe.
Actually, I do, but I've not got.
You've done the tutorial of using a gun though.
Yeah, I've done the tutorial. Of using a gun. But I've not had a moment where I've needed to pull a gun on someone.
Right. So you're more sneaky than me then, basically.
Yeah. Well, in the hotel mission that I'm currently playing through, I've taken down a couple of people with like hand to hand combat. But I haven't got to the point where I've been licensed to kill.
Oh, well, I have many a time when I've fucked up and I've been like, oh no, and they've went, freeze, and then it goes, dun, and then you're like, shit, right, I can do it. It does show it in the tutorial.
It's one of them things where I do really like wanting to play stealthily and only use the gun as a last resort, because it feels like pulling your gun's a bit of a failure.
I mean, as a spy who's
shots
supposed
fired,
to
literally.
secret.
Even when I like end up like in like full on combat with people because I've failed to like do a takedown or something, or someone's seen me doing a takedown, that's where I go, oh god, I've cocked this one.
It happens. But definitely I think straight into my front runner for Game of the Year.
Yeah, same.
As well. I don't think the more I play of it, the more I want to play for it. Since I got it, I've went to bed thinking about it, woke up and where can I squeeze an hour
that's
out
a good
of
sign.
here.
That's a good sign.
And I guess one of the great parts of it, very Hitman-esque, is the replayability factor almost. So when you get into the lab, you're able to do what they call tac sims or tactile simulations, where similar to the Pierce Brosnan movie, where you're almost going to a VR world, very Metal Gear Solid reminiscent again, and you can basically play out scenarios using previous assets and levels. So the more you progress in the campaign, the more of these tac sim levels open up, and you can go back in and tweak parameters, tweak weapons, tweak difficulty, and you get basically levels to spend on cosmetics through that. So then what I'm thinking is kind of like long-term, like Hitman. I think Hitman got DLC for the World of Assassination for 7-8 years. Ironically, we got Bond villains, didn't we? We got Le Chiffre in there, and we got Sean Bean at one point, not as a Bond villain, but we got Sean Bean in the game. So I could see them doing something really clever with this kind of month to month to keep, with it predominantly being a single-player game, to keep people engaged with it long-term.
And because they've got the Bond license, I can see them bringing in stuff from other Bond stories. As kind of
imagine if they get villains.
You could do a Quantum of Solace. I don't know why I picked Quantum of Solace. You could do a
That's
Quantum of
Solace
DLC. I had Casino Royale. And GoldenEye in my head. And I went for Quantum of Solace. Nice. You could do a Quantum of Solace. You shouldn't. You should probably do a Casino Royale tac sim or a GoldenEye tac sim.
Nah, man. Go Moonraker.
You could just bring
Let's
these in
old
easy.
school.
Is it Drax from Moonraker?
Yeah, you could do
the guy from there.
Yeah, you could do
Jaws. Odd Job, where he's so small you can't shoot him, so you need to
Yet he's not actually short in the movie.
He's not. I think it's because of GoldenEye the game.
Yeah.
But if they're going to be really smart about it, remember this is IO. They already have full body scans of Sean Bean and Mads Mikkelsen. So if they want a really easy way to start, they literally already have the assets to do Casino Royale and GoldenEye. But as you said, that catalogue of, you're talking, 20 3+ movies.
Yeah.
Christopher Lee, Scaramanga, get him in there, Man with the Gold Gun, and just do a little tax in where the reward would be the golden gun, and like kind of fit the cosmetics to the movie theme, if that makes sense. So you get the Aston Martin something. Yeah, like that. But yeah, I mean, without multiplayer, because all the Bond games previously came with multiplayer, and this one doesn't. And that's
we all know it's slappers only. Slappers only from GoldenEye.
Oh yeah, get it on paintball mode, like all that stuff's so good. So there's a lot here, and they've already announced the Valhalla protocol as well, and they've said basically the Aston Martin Valhalla, which is heavily sponsored somehow through the game. There's going to be like racing tax sims, which aren't currently in the game, but there are racing elements in the story mode. So they've got the mechanics already built in. There's a really good racing bit about just where I'm at, Richie, which will make your put a big smile on your face. But yeah, it's like, I know I mentioned the Amazon thing, but this absolutely should get a sequel. It should absolutely be part of a trilogy, and I think they haven't even announced who's the new Bond for movies yet, so that's going to take them 5 odd years. So I'd argue they could probably churn this out, get another game out before we even see another cinematic adventure.
I like how we're calling for a sequel before we've even finished the game.
It's that good.
Yeah,
it's that good. It needs to be.
I agree.
Fantastic.
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
I'm sold.
Recommend.
I'm sold.
It's with Amazon. If you pre-order it now, you might still get it early.
Somehow, yeah.
On the day of release.
Yeah.
Same day delivery. It's happened before.
I like it.
Indeed.
But yeah, I know a lot of our audience are huge Bond fans as well. There's a lot of them, like Al Davis music as well, like literally writes music in the vein and remasters things. So yeah,
I feel like in the world where we'll get sick of big open world RPGs or Soulsborne games or roguelikes, it's nice to have a game like this come right at the forefront in gaming, where it's a fairly linear action adventure, narrative driven, with an interesting cast of characters. Just sit down and enjoy, but it's got its own. It's kind of unique in that sense. The closest games are like Uncharted or World of Assassination. Yeah, Tomb Raider.
To a degree. We haven't had one of them for 10 years.
But Tomb Raider, I think, has got more survival elements.
Yeah, true.
But indeed,
just says a lot. On the PlayStation wanted something in the PS4 era when they had banger after banger with these third-person action-adventure games, and they ditched it all for live service. And
it's
now,
a breath of fresh
10
air.
years later, it is. Yeah. Absolutely agreed.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, not Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, has been announced.
Wow.
And it's going to be set in the Korean Peninsula as North Korea launches a full-scale invasion but threatens to destabilise the world. Were you expecting a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 to be announced now?
Considering there's an Xbox showcase on Sunday, I thought they would have held off till then, but for some reason they've opted to go early with a random, was it like Thursday night drop?
Yeah.
The trailer came out?
I was one of them. I started seeing online and go, really? Now?
It's the kind of thing that you would expect to be launched at an official event as opposed to just like a trailer drop.
I wonder if there's still a bit of Xbox with the Activision stuff going, you know what, we're going to keep this away from the main Xbox showcase, let other games breathe, because it's one of the games where it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's Modern Warfare, I'd say, is the strongest arm of Call of Duty.
Agreed, yeah.
Yes.
If you put that in amongst a load of Xbox stuff, it probably takes over the narrative too much. So if you get that announcement out of the way, it's strong enough to carry its own weight, then it frees up the narrative a bit. It's probably a strategic decision.
I would agree with that. Yeah. I think there's something to be said if you think a little bit deeper. This is the first one that, remember, they've taken it out of Game Pass. So I wonder if the entire showcase is going to be included in Game Pass, Like they've always kind of had those little tags that come in at the end. Everything you saw today is included in Game Pass. And then I feel like if this is in there, they have to go, except for the most popular game of the year. And I think like they've maybe tried to delineate the two out a little bit so that they're not clashing with the branding of Game Pass that we're going to see on Sunday. I mean, in the world we are in right now, North Korea attacking South Korea seems a bit too close for comfort. But
I don't think there's a Call of Duty story you can do that doesn't feel too close to comfort, though. Like,
absolutely,
truthfully, that's the state of the world now.
What
I mean,
about
it's literally part of the name
century?
of Modern Warfare. You know, it's like
yeah.
Well, what was the one that went in space with Jon Snow?
Wasn't
Was
that?
it was something
was that
Warfare.
one of the future
Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
Infinite, yeah, goes
Yeah.
on forever. When with lasers and that was like Moonraker, that one wasn't it? Lasers in space and Jaws came out of nowhere. But yeah, go on.
I think interesting with this is they're calling it ballistic authority, so they're actually changing up the gameplay a bit and how the feel of it. Where I think since probably Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, every single modern Call of Duty has felt roughly the same. Slight improvements, or probably quite a lot of small improvements over the year. This feels like a first kind of jump in tech. So they're calling it for Modern Warfare 4, I'm reading from the Call of Duty blog, a new weapon-first technology stack unifies precision aiming, physical handling, realistic audio propagation, enhanced visibility and smarter combat perception into the most authentic Modern Warfare game gunplay yet. Bullet trajectory, weapon motion, operator stance, camera audio, FOV and target visibility all line up in one highly tuned combat fidelity system. The promise is simple: no bloom, no guesswork, no doubt, every shot tells the truth. They go on to talk about how they've worked a lot on hip fire to make it more where aiming down the sights they kind of got pretty much where you'd expect. But hip fire, they said it was basically just draw a circle roughly around the centre where the aimer is, and it's random from there. They've tried to make that more realistic, so they spent a lot of time working on this. And I think that's what they mean by bloom.
Yeah, there's a lot to say in the blog about traversal and combat movement. I think this is where I think we'd all agree Call of Duty's been one of the best refined shooters. Probably since Bungie nailed it down way back. They're going to say like the traversal movement to offer better transitions and seamless responsiveness. They talk about expanded options for mantling, climbing, hanging, jumping, creating opportunities to flank, navigate vertical spaces, like basically intense parkour. And I think this is where these Call of Duty games have probably got away from us over the last decade or so, where they're not a case of duck, stand up, peek out, shoot. It's so dynamic now when you watch clips of it. Remember that guy we had, Richie, when we played Black Ops 6, I think it was? We had one guy in our team and he held down the fort for us absolutely. He was like getting 200 plus kills in a zombies round, absolutely wiping the floor with us. But he was on our team, so we didn't mind him. And when you watched his kind of death cam clips back, man, that guy was like seeing the Matrix the way he was moving around, up and down, in and out, like he knew what was behind him, above him at any opportunity. And there's me and Richie and this other person just like clunk along, getting killed every 2 minutes,
is the
and
shoot
losing
button.
their weapons, and what's looking down, pressing the wrong thing. But yeah, I mean, Modern Warfare, as you said, I think it is rightly so the main one. I do think it's quite an interesting pivot to kind of take us over to kind of North Korea, South Korea, to kind of just give us I feel like it's always been Americanized Call of Duty for the longest time,
There's been
this
a
feels
lot
different.
of Eastern Europe, Russia kind of being the bad guys, with America also sometimes being the bad guys. They made it very grey area. I feel like they've looked at that and went, in the current climate, do we want to do Russia again? Let's maybe go to another part of the world.
I mean, I'll say
there's tension that you can explore.
From what I've seen, just looking at it, then I will say like a huge shout out first of all, like to the logo design. I love the way they've incorporated almost like that Asian character as the number 4 as well into it. That's like really quite smart about how they've done that. But if we think about anything about how well the Modern Warfare storyline stands up as well, it is personally, it's the most impactful storyline that I've ever experienced in the Call of Duty franchise. So if they can get this right, then, you know, they may yet again be onto a winner. We know people will buy Call of Duty games. We know that already. That's just part and parcel. There is that fan base that already exists. But Modern Warfare itself just stands out as like the upper echelon, personally, I think, of like the Call of Duty franchise. If they can absolutely nail this story right here, they could be setting up again for, you know, a great continuation. And it looks like, you know, they've got the right idea in mind with where they're going with it. They've got our boy Pricey back. Yet again, we've got to give a shout out to Captain Price right there. I think, dare I say, I might be slightly interested.
What I found interesting is how much they've focused on the campaign in the announcement. They've went into stuff. They've touched into multiplayer a bit. DMZ is back. Multiplayer is going to be what you expected. They've touched into the mechanics a bit with the improved movement and gunfire, which I actually think this is maybe why we got 2 Black Ops in a row. and then Modern Warfare instead of Black Ops Modern Warfare Black Ops, to kind of give this another year to really kind of, this is going to be the new base, the template for Call of Duty going forward with the improved stuff. But how strongly they're focused on the campaign, it's turning my head a little bit. It's like, I enjoy the campaigns of Call of Duty, I just don't think the usually that £70-80 mark for the campaign when I have no interest in the multiplayer. It's a bit too much.
There's just something about the set pieces in the Modern Warfare games, though. When I think about like the most definitive levels of, I mean, I'm talking throwback to Modern Warfare 2 at this point here, but you know, I do very distinctly remember those moments as like almost pivotal gaming moments for me back in my Xbox 360 era of like, you know, the attack on like American soil. You know, there's obviously the remember no Russian.
Yeah.
You know, it's those points right there, those snappy points that are just absolutely just like crucial to what sell this franchise. And I think if they can sell me on that, then they may have a returning customer.
Yeah, Chris has basically got every single Call of Duty going.
Only recently.
Yeah.
Got it back for the collection.
The PS3 ones.
All of these, £12.
Oh,
eBay.
That's
12
what,
quid, all immaculate.
6 games, 6 PS3 games?
Yeah. All the Modern Warfares up until now, so I can go back. Advanced Warfare, World at War, Black Ops 2 as well. But to Tom's point, I think I'd completely agree. It's doing the right amount of nostalgia. Although I did see Price in the trailer, and I was like, how does he look younger now than he did 20 years ago? Because they've done some de-aging on him almost, or maybe it's a mask.
He should be greyer than me.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he was old in Modern Warfare 2, right?
Yeah.
But somehow here he's got a darker,
in Modern
thicker
Warfare
beard
1, he was already a seasoned veteran. Like,
yeah.
Maybe he was
might have been helped a little bit by the brown and bloom at the time.
Wasn't he around in the
That's
Cold
true,
War?
that's true.
Like, literally, isn't there a mission where you're in, like, Chernobyl? No, it's not Chernobyl. You are in Ukraine.
Yeah, it was Chernobyl, yeah.
Yeah, Chernobyl. Like, he was, like, young then. Like, probably...
He's got radiation now. Maybe it's the
Absolutely.
radiation keeping him young.
It's the radiation that's kept him young. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
The Hulk.
Pricey's got his own superpower at
Call
this
of
point.
Duty Modern Warfare 4 is sponsored by Just for Men.
But I will say, back to the story and the kind of the limits of it, I enjoyed Black Ops 6 when it was on Game Pass. I enjoyed the campaign, really interesting. I played about probably 80% of it, and then they shit the bed so much with Black Ops 7's rushed campaign. It made no sense, really. It didn't really push the story along. It felt like the multiplayer maps that were just turned into campaign maps, and you could genuinely feel it, and I think it's one of the worst reviewed Call of Duties in history.
It's interesting to actually think we're talking about Black Ops 7. Is it 6 or 7?
Mm-hmm. 7,
and we're on to Modern Warfare 4, and Modern Warfare 2 was out before the first Black Ops.
Yeah, and they've done the remakes in between as well, but I like the approach they say on the blog about the two stories. So you've got a young squad of Korean soldiers fighting to survive on the collapsed front line, so north and south, and then half the world away you've got Captain Price looking for vengeance against a personal war vendetta. That's in the shadows, and at the end of the trailer they do show Ghost rocking up and wanting to hunt down Price. So there's some weird, like, you were best friends, like, what happened here? And that's like the hook, isn't it, for that nostalgic fan?
Yeah.
He's the poster boy, and like, oh shit, you've got basically the two. It's Captain America versus Iron Man of the Call of Duty world right here. They used to be friends. They're squaring off, and something's going to happen. So I think you're going to get two almost like very different stories on two very different skills. I think one's going to be more stealthy and personal and private in the shadows, and one's going to be bombastic on the front line. Tons of AI bots running around, lots to kill, explosions going off like trench warfare, as it says. But then modernised in what you've got, and then obviously it's going to come with all its amazing multiplayer maps. It's I read they brought DMZ back as well, which they did try before, right?
Yeah, DMZ is like
DMZ.
It's a extraction shooter. So they're bringing it back, and I think last time it didn't land very well, but I think was it in one of the weaker entries when it
Probably, and it was at the time, of course, at the height of Fortnite, Apex were all popping off, and PUBG, and everyone was trying. I think they were just like 4th, 5th, 6th in line at the time, and then eventually that evolved into what became Warzone. I do think maybe taking a couple of years out, because you can, I mean, it's the perfect game for an extraction experience, right? It's literally in the coding and the DNA of the game.
Yeah.
So
if
I
you
do
get
think
the
maybe
maps right and you get the progression right, You've already got the base mechanics already exist. So you just need to get that thing right, and then it should work.
Yeah, and I feel like there's an appetite for it, right?
Yeah.
We saw that with, not so much with Marathon recently, but what's the huge one that I can't think of off the top of my head? The extraction shooter that did massively
Arc
well.
Raiders.
That's the one. That's the one. You nailed it.
My baby.
So yeah, going in solo with a squad and getting stuff and dropping out like that. Like, I feel like there's more interest now than there maybe is battle royales.
Yeah.
So it seems like it could be a great time to get on that. And then Warzone's always going to be there in the background, right?
Yeah.
Funneling people towards the new entry.
While we're mentioning Warzone, on October the 21st, Warzone's getting a platform update, so previous generation consoles will no longer be compatible. So we'll be talking PC, PS5 and Xbox Series up. And it's coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
What? Call of Duty on a
Call of
Nintendo
Duty is
platform?
coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Is it confirmed that Warzone's coming to Switch 2, though? I'm not sure on that one.
Just says Modern Warfare 4.
The update is basically getting rid of Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah, ditching the last gen.
Okay.
That's from June the 25th. Modern Warfare 4 launches on October the 23rd, so we actually have the release date.
Cool. Nice.
I remember having World at War on the Wii. And I don't remember playing much of it, but I must have got it as like a pack-in or something. It was, but not on the Wii.
I had it on the PC, and it brought us zombies, and the modern community was awesome for that game. Because I got the hands on this like basic unique game mode and went, oh, let's do more maps.
Yeah.
And again, to kind of bring things full circle, Modern Warfare has been handled by Infinity Ward, which I think are the typical crown jewel of the development circle. That is Beanox. It's Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, Treyarch.
Treyarch,
and then there's like 100 studios.
High Moon, Demonware, Beanox, Activision.
Raven's the other one I think of when. Yeah.
Beanox made the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 on the PS3. And they were, before Spider-Man went all PlayStation and ultra popular, those were good games, right? And then now Beanox, bless them, have been on poor Call of Duty for Sport for 10 plus years now. They deserve to branch out and do their own thing again. Fucking Activision, man.
Everything is a Call of Duty support studio. Apart from CG Projekt Red, which is apparently a Witcher 3 support studio because they're bringing out an expansion, not DLC. They're very, very clear, and these are not the same thing. For The Witcher 3, it's going to be called Songs of the Past. And I think the reason why they make a point of going, this is an expansion, not a DLC, is because they've previously said all DLC will be free, expansions will be paid.
That's how they get you. It's in the legal terms. Also, it's 13 years later, so I guess the statutory rights of those claims have kind of passed. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it?
There's been rumours, but you kind of think, really, you're doing a Witcher DLC for the Witcher expansion? Expansion.
It came out when these came out. It's that old. Yeah. It came out when all them Call of Duty games came out. I mean, Richie, you finished it several times over.
Yeah, I've never played the DLCs actually.
Have you not?
Really?
No, because I played the main game, then I moved on to other stuff. Then I went back to try and get the platinum because I was focused on trying to get the platinum. Eventually, I think I burnt out a bit, and then I never went on to
do one
the
full
DLC.
playthrough, didn't you, again? Like an entire playthrough.
I think I'd cocked up, and I still needed to do one more full playthrough, plus a bunch of other trophies, and I went... I didn't at the time, I was like, I don't have it in me, I want to move on and play something else. Which kind of sucks. I want the platinum trophy in this. This is going to be the thing that pushes me back into The Witcher 3.
Okay. What I was going to say is, Chris, did you play Phantom Liberty as part of Cyberpunk 2077?
No, I did. I never finished Cyberpunk. Okay. So my Stadia file fucked me over, and I never got to play it again. So
and
I
Richie,
own it.
You have not played the Blood and Wine DLC for Witcher 3?
No.
Okay, gents, I'm going to tell you now, you are literally missing the best CD Projekt Red content that there is out there. What I will tell you right now is their expansions are shit hot better than the base game. I am not kidding you. Like, if you enjoyed Cyberpunk and you enjoyed The Witcher, those two DLC in particular, you have to experience them, which is why I am so incredibly excited about this new expansion coming to The Witcher 3.
I haven't played Phantom Liberty either. I do own Cyberpunk again. I got it on a PlayStation sale a few months back. I installed it, played for about 10 minutes when actually I don't want to play this right now, and uninstalled it. But I didn't buy it to play at the moment. I want this in my library. And now I wish I had the physical version.
And now I have that dilemma of, I got, I think, maybe 15 hours into The Witcher, did the Baron storyline, did the Witch in the Well storyline, don't know how far that is, got the goat with the bell, did all that stuff. And then I think I just burnt out or something new came out, and I was like, I don't want to play a game that's like 7-8-year-old when there's a brand new up-and-coming one. So I dropped it again for like the third time of trying, and then similar with Cyberpunk, played it to maybe 20 hours in, and then Stadia closed, lost the save or something like that. It glitched out on me, I can't remember what it was. Like Richie, bought the deluxe edition with Phantom Liberty, so it's on my shelf behind me. And now, gentlemen, according to you, Tom especially, I have basically, do I toss a coin to my Witcher and go play that leading to this one, or do I play Cyberpunk?
Yeah,
what a problem to have. Thankfully, I've got till 2027 to decide, but the big games, right? And the DLC's a game unto itself, so
absolutely, you're talking like a 30 to 40 hour experience from the expansions themselves.
I
know the thing is, you've got to understand, and this goes for anybody who hasn't experienced The Witcher out there yet, right? This game will eat your life away when you get into it.
Hence the fact that I never got to the DLC.
You have to just, if you really just want to experience like in my opinion, one of the best expansions that I have ever played in a game. Like, it is absolutely chef's kiss. You've just got to gun the story. You've got to turn that completionist side of you off. And just go for it. Don't go for the platinum. Just go for the story.
That's what I need to do when I inevitably go back to The Witcher 3. I will gun the story, I'll play through the DLCs, I'll probably play through the new DLC at the time, then I will consider Platinum Trophy hunting. I would love to have the Platinum Trophy for this game in my collection.
Same.
But next time I do need to play the DLC. Yeah. So, going back to the new DLC though, it's called Songs of the Past. I'm thinking, does this try to connect back to The Witcher 1, which is getting a remake? There's a lot of people talking about, we'll connect to The Witcher 4, which is going to be largely a series story going forward. Mm-hmm. But it's like, well, if Songs of the Past, is this a way of bringing in stuff that happened in The Witcher 1 and potentially Witcher 2 back in before The Witcher 1's re-announced?
I mean, it's 20, 30 hours long, so they could do both, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, they clearly decided that we need to make this expansion to close out something to do with Geralt, so that The Witcher 4 can probably stand on its own going forward. At least that's my impression of it, that they feel like there's one more story to tell before they hand the torch over properly.
So there's one thing I want to sort of point you to, is that one of the key art images shows you a new sword that is not associated with Geralt of Rivia. So when you think of Geralt, we think very much of like his silver sword and his steel sword, one for fighting monsters and one for fighting normal people, let's say, for example. This sword is not a sword that is associated with the character. So there are theories out there that it does actually link to like that passing of the beacon, the passing of the torch over to Ciri, and whether that will be Ciri's sword.
I've just noticed that, actually. In the key art, he's got his two swords on his back and he's holding a third.
Yes. I do think that you are onto something with that link. I like that link a lot, actually. And I think it could be a nice way to tie in for the games that people won't have experienced as much, because to be clear, like The Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 games are dated. Witcher 1 way more dated. Like way more dated compared to it. So like Witcher 3 is like the pinnacle experience you want to get. So if you are somebody who's like wanting to onboard onto The Witcher at this point, skip over 1 and 2 and just go straight for 3.
3's the entry point. Like, you can jump straight to 3 without playing 1 or 2.
I think that there is going to be that link to The Witcher 4. I think the Songs of the Past, like you say, does refer to like how we've gotten to this point, essentially. But I do think it's going to show that sort of like inauguration of Ciri taking the mantle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say in the article, like, options, this is the Eurogamer article, they say, like, if they go back when Ciri's a child, that time period is pretty much untouched in the games. So when he's kind of training her, which is like a flashback sequence, if I remember rightly. And then they go on to say, like, when the dates of each game takes place. So Witcher 1, 1270, Witcher 2, 1271, Witcher 3, 1272. So it's kind of like every other year you get a game. Heart of Stone, 1273, and then 2 years later, Blood and Wine, 1275. So they're all over like a 6-year span. Yeah. But then, there's all those years prior to that.
It's what's interesting is if you ever watch the Witcher TV series, the first few seasons kind of happen before the Witcher 1 game. All the games kind of happen after that. So the Witcher 1 starts with Geralt having amnesia after basically just leaving the Wild Hunt. I think it's going to be this song maybe bringing in things from that happened prior to the Witcher 1, almost as a prequel, probably during his time with the Wild Hunt.
I like the theory crafting there, because this is getting me thinking about all the different strands that they could touch on. And it also makes me think, when we're talking about like the Netflix series in particular, that you know how that sort of went. And
nobody did, Richie. Nobody did.
It opens up a lot of opportunity for CD Projekt Red to sort of like retake the reins and be like, right, we're controlling this horse now. We are dictating how this story goes and how we fill that in. And referring to it of songs of the past, obviously songs very much that like that Dandelion or Jaskier sort of bardic vibe going on there as well. I like the way that they're thinking about it from that perspective, linking back to the past. I still feel very strongly that this is going to be almost like a montage of the Ciri moments of Geralt and his Geralt and Yennefer's sort of raising of Ciri, I suppose, really, as a Witcher to the point of leading into The Witcher 4. I'm really, really excited for this.
Well, there's stuff in the games we've never seen, really. We haven't seen Geralt, unless it's in the DLCs for Witcher 3, Geralt meeting the likes of Triss or Yennefer.
Tom's like,
okay.
It's a weird one when you said about the time jump, because I remember when I started playing The Witcher 3 last time because of the series, and I started reading the books. Like, I feel like the first book takes place in like mid-season 2 in the show, and this is when you say about the timelines. And then because the show did a time jump as well, my head was completely all over the place. I don't know where I sit in the grander scheme of things, because I'm reading chapters going like, oh, this is just the episode I watched like last week, but it's the first book. So how does it all work? And there's a new book came out back end of last year, right, as well. So there's more material out there for them to lean on. What do you think this means then for the release dates? Because if this is coming out 2027, I don't think we're getting The Witcher 4 until, at a push, the back end of 2027, at best probably 2028.
I think these could be the same year, actually. I think you could have this early 2027 to whet people's appetite for The Witcher 4 coming out late 2027. Yeah. I also think this announcement might be here because Witcher 4 could be at Summer Games Fest. So they want to get this announcement. Again, get it out the way before Summer Games Fest. Because you don't want to go... It's one of them, you could do here's The Witcher 4, it looks great. Oh, by the way, there's DLC for The Witcher 3. It wouldn't have the same impact as, they're doing this. We've spent 20 minutes talking about this, so...
It's worth saying at this point that Songs of the Past was meant to release this year. Just so you are aware, it was meant to release this year. It was something that they mentioned in an earnings call before. I'm just reading directly from GameSpot at the moment. It says that, there was a moment when the Polish studio envisioned releasing this in 2026. It was decided that shifting to 2027 would allow for the best possible result. And we all know that Miyamoto quote that we've talked about time and time again.
And CD Projekt Red fell foul of that quote when they launched Cyberpunk. They have hopefully learned the lesson.
Oh, I mean, these quotes coming directly from the joint CEO is literally quite clearly stating we understand that we've effed up in the past, and we need to make sure that we get a hit with The Witcher, and too right, because it has such a cult standing within the video game industry as well now, as being like this. It's one of the rare masterpieces that we talk about when we look at those such high scoring games.
60 million copies sold, confirmed as part of the reveal as well. And I guess with the timelines then, where does this leave the 1 and 2 remake as well? Because
I think
there's a lot of games to come out now, and they've got obviously another team working on Cyberpunk sequel as well. And I know they've expanded and they've brought in like second party support, and the success of Cyberpunk inevitably has brought them money.
It's worth pointing out this is developed with Fool's Theory, so they're co-developing it. So I think I don't think this slows down The Witcher 4. I think The Witcher 4 is their next big title on the slate. And then I think it could be Cyberpunk 2 before the Witcher 1 remake.
When was Cyberpunk? 2020?
It was
Stadia.
Right,
like,
Stadia.
So we're already 6 years after.
Sorry, Richie. My hat comes off to you, sir.
So it's already been 6 years since they last put out a game, which seems crazy to say, but
which is why I think Witcher 4 is probably still next year.
Yeah,
and then Cyberpunk maybe 2 years after that.
Yes.
And
but then how many
2
years
after that is probably The Witcher 1. Unfortunately, I think it is that long away.
Yeah,
and Witcher 2 remake hasn't even been announced, so...
Yeah, but I think we know it's happening, because it's like one of them 7 project names they've got, but it's crazy to think how many years they probably spent fixing Cyberpunk, unfortunately, as well. They probably lost a good 2 years development by just getting that in order, and then getting Phantom Liberty out. Because Cyberpunk was supposed to have multiplayer, right, as well, until they ditched it.
Yes, it was. It was meant to be one of like the DLC, the free DLCs that they were going to release for it. I just want to say very quickly, Richie, don't get my hopes up about me seeing something of The Witcher 4 at Summer Games Fest, because when I don't see it at Summer Games Fest, I'm going to literally just like absolutely melt down. But if we do see some gameplay, my God, man,
it feels like the right time though.
Yeah.
Toss a coin to Jeff Keighley.
Yeah. They're effectively an indie studio. It fits Jeff nicely, because I don't know. I'm hoping. I'm not going to believe it's going to happen. I'm hoping, but for The Witcher, I don't think the next Cyberpunk or The Witcher 1 will be on PS5.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
That's timeline. I hope they are, because I do not want a PS6.
I mean, I'm
with the way
thinking
hardware is at the
28
moment,
or beyond.
I have no interest in the PS6 with how pricey hardware is at the moment. You can keep that shit.
Hardware costs going up, Richie.
Yeah, talking about hardware costs.
Oh, no.
Valve have announced an almost instant price increase for the Steam Deck of nearly £200 in the UK. So the Steam Deck, the 512GB Steam Deck OLED model has increased from £479 to £649, while the 1TB Steam Deck OLED model has increased from £569 to £779, which is over £210. It's like, don't buy hardware right now, guys. But I say don't buy hardware right now, but these costs are never coming down.
I know, Richie. I've literally been saving up for the 1TB OLED. Like,
you got more to save now.
I know. It's
this is one where if you knew this was going up, you're just going to take out a
increase.
credit card and just go for it.
Oh my God, man, nah. It's one of these things that I just think, yeah, we know the writing's been on the wall for a while. We know what's been happening with like the memory marketplace, with everything, with this great boom of AI and so on.
Fucking AI.
It still
AI is
stings.
worse than Activision. Just putting it out there.
It's making the world a worse place. Overall, it's got some fantastic uses and things like the medical field and stuff like that. But common use AI is making the world a worse place.
Yeah. I will say one thing, though, and this is the thing that really sort of like grinds my gears a little bit. Yes, you mentioned about the prices going up and so on, but already the US stock of the new price increase as well is already gone, sold out.
Because
it's insane.
You know what it'll be? This will be scalpers. Because the way things are trending right now, they put the price up, like, they buy all the stock we can, will sit on it. When the price goes up, suddenly these will be back in the market.
I've seen people in our Discord say like they could sell their second-hand Steam Deck for more than they bought it for. As long as it's in like good condition, people are in the market for one.
Yeah.
That's what some people were doing when the PlayStation 5 price increases were going up as well, with like essentially like getting a Pro and then selling off their PS5.
Should have bought
for literally
Series X, Chris. We should have bought Series X's.
I mean, I still don't think many people want that, unfortunately.
I'm pretty sure Costco is still struggling to get them off the shelves, to be honest with you. They're just practically giving them away at this point.
But I mean, this has wider repercussions, right? So it absolutely sucks, 100%. I think we weren't overly in the market for one, me and Richie anyway, Tom, but we're definitely not now. My biggest knock-on worry is, like, you think going into next year, presumably we were about to get the Steam machine at some point. Presumably at Summer Game Fest next week, we're going to get a reveal. What the hell the price for that's going to be is. And then secondly, you've got Xbox trying to reshuffle with new leadership and get a new piece of hardware out ahead of Sony to try and get, like, a curb on their market slice. What the hell is that going to look like? And then you've got a PS6, which is rumoured to be coming maybe next year or beyond. Did they just push it back and go like... Because that's going to be, if the Pro's... How much is it the next gen going to be, which is inevitably going to be stronger than the Pro? Are we just living in a world now where to play like handheld or console gaming, you're talking like $1,000 upwards nearly?
I just hate the doom and gloom about it, but... I think it's the reality of the world. As we know, we've just had to...
I wonder who's to blame. I wonder who all these tech companies could pressure into sorting stuff out on the global landscape. Activision, that's who.
Activision.
Don't know why I'm going so hard on Activision this episode. We praise Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. It's that last bit.
So I need to balance it out by giving them shit for the rest of the episode.
I mean, it's just one of these things. It's just like not... Never mind the copyright strike that we got. We're going to get a cease and desist and a slander, like defamation, character defamation from Activision.
What I feel, you know what I feel for, Tom? The kids. The poor kids who go, Mum, Dad, could I have for Christmas? And they go, no, Santa's got no money.
It's well reported that things like the shortage in like silicon chips and stuff that make things like your RAM, your GPUs, your CPUs, they are going up massively because of AI demand. That is well reported, so we can say these companies are contributing to the reason your consoles are getting more expensive, because the manufacturers of these consoles are pointing to that shortage as a reason why they have to put the prices up, because the parts are going up, and to keep them profitable so they don't go bankrupt, they have to charge you an extra £200, which then it prices them out of the market, which means these become unobtainium. And the PS6, unfortunately, I think is in a situation where if you launch the PS6 in the next 3-4 years, I think it's going to be in shaky ground out the gate. Because
so
it's going
invest
to be
in Nvidia.
Because it's going to be so expensive.
Yeah.
I think people are going to look at it and go, no thanks, I'm going to stay with my PS5.
I will state I am not a financial advisor. No. Do not invest in Nvidia. I think you missed the boat on that one.
I guess to summarise the problem at large, and I'll read a quote, and I want you to tell me who the quote is. You should both get it. This universe is finite, its resources finite. If life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist. It needs correction. I'll give you a clue. He's purple.
He's
Mr. Blobby.
Yes, he's pink. Which it's a sign of the times, isn't it? Where just we cannot produce this stuff quick enough, and it always demands that physical labour. And just the state of everything right now, it's just like it isn't a smooth process to get shit done. Are we literally
looking at the extreme point of capitalism in the video game industry, where it's actually the industry is going to destroy itself by pricing out consumers?
I mean, I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
We might be charging headfirst into a kind of collapse in the hardware market, because if these prices keep going up, on top of everything else that's going on in your life, bills, etc., it's going to make these things just completely not obtainable. So then this is why I'm actually quite worried about the next generation of consoles coming too soon, because people are going to look at it and go, it's not worth the money for a relatively small incremental upgrade in terms of your gaming experience.
It's diminishing returns at this point.
Yeah, it is. We are diminishing returns,
you're right.
But then Xbox and Sony have a problem where in order to keep making a lot of money, they need every now and again bring out a new console to get on board people, get the big sales, get all the new games coming. But then I think the consumers are going to be less interested in the next generation because of the pricing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're in a very dodgy position as the gaming like industry.
And it's just individual games, right? People asking for £80 for a title. Like, I've bought more cheaper games because of the cost. Like Resident Evil was 62, I think I picked it up for. Bond, I think I got for 62 as well. But when you see like Saros trying to sneak in there at like 70, 80, I'm like, no, not for me.
Right,
sorry.
yeah,
reviewing really well, selling very not as good. Probably because of the price. When Bond, I actually picked up Bond because I had an Amazon gift voucher. I picked it up for £30.
Yeah, bargain.
Yeah.
But again, it's sold like 1.5 million
I bought
already.
Pragmata this week for 40.
Oh wow!
Hey.
I got
all in on it.
I bought it for my girlfriend. It was her birthday.
So you don't quite fancy a Steam Deck for nearly £1,000 then?
Nope.
That doesn't appeal to you.
Any lingering interests I had is just gone. Maybe the future is cloud gaming.
If only there was a company that had an idea.
Yeah. What you mean?
Too
This
soon.
one.
Too soon.
Bringing out the old ones.
Oh well. Mina the
Let's have some
Hollower.
good news.
Mina the Hollower is currently sitting on a Metacritic score on PC of 92.
Wow.
Yeah, it's doing quite well.
Wow.
Your
this
club,
an-
man. Don't miss.
Was this on
Even though they've only
the
done
2
2
radars?
games.
Yeah, I think anything from the Shovel Knight devs is absolutely gonna be that. There are these studios that just sit nicely in certain places where they're whatever they churn out is going to be gold. For example, like Team Cherry when it comes to the Hollow Knight franchise. Yeah. When you think about these guys here, the names sort of slip. Yacht Club Games. There we go. Yeah. Sorry, Yacht Club are very much they brought Shovel Knight along, and Shovel Knight very much filled that sort of, I want to say, that near Mega Man-esque sort of niche that hadn't been touched as much. There's also what's the game by the people who made Crosscode? It's coming out. Alabaster Dawn, I think it's called. It's these very like pixelated, heavy, vintage retro sort of taking you back to what we want and what we remember a video game feeling like as a child. That experience. Was I expecting this? To an extent, yes. In a way, I'm just glad it's reviewing as well as it is, because I feel like these are the kinds of things that keep the industry evolving in a kind of strange, backwards graphically way. But there's something to be said about the vibe of pixel art, really.
Mm-hmm. I mean, gameplay is king, right? A lot of the stuff that made Shovel Knight great is because it paid homage to the stuff that came before it, but it almost like celebrated it in a way. And it seems like we know Mina the Hollow was going to do that. We knew the music was going to be that 16-bit kind of buzz vibe with a Zelda-inspired kind of skin over it as well. And reading from one of the reviews here, Jill Shockers gave it a 10 out of 10.
That one. Go for it.
Well, find another one. They said, with Mina the Hollow, Yacht Club Games have managed to beautifully pay homage to some of the absolute greatest classics in gaming history, all while carving out their own entirely fresh identity with an irresistible experience. It's like a gothic Zelda with touches of Castlevania and Dark Souls that you never knew you needed. If you've ever have a passing love for classic adventure, gothic atmosphere, tightly knit game design, do yourself a favour and dive into this world. And
that's it.
£15.
Yeah, exactly right. That's it. You're talking about taking
Richie's
the idea.
like, oh shit. Sorry, Pragmata.
It's Control.
You're talking about
it's Control.
what is
Getting kicked down the
literally-
list.
I know. It's one of these things that you're taking inspiration from arguably Richie may contest this, arguably the greatest Legend of Zelda game, A Link to the Past, and sort of like, using that sort of idea. I mean, for me, I look at this and I think of like my experiences, not so much with A Link to the Past, but for me, Link's Awakening. When I played Link's Awakening, that was very much...
That's my game.
That is a fucking game that is. And again, Legend of Zelda fans will all have their own sort of where they sit, whether they're an Ocarina of Time, a Majora's Mask, a Twilight's Princess, etc., etc. But to me, Mina the Hollower fits. You said it as well. The Castlevania element of this, it's what sells it to me. It's taking those Super Nintendo absolute amazing hits from such a definitive era of gaming and just combining them and creating something new. And I think again they're hitting it just right. They're hitting that nostalgia point just right there as well, for particularly what I would say is, I don't know, I feel like our age range and people who are slightly older, probably like into the 40s and early 50s, this sort of like 20-year span of gaming is very much like your target market right now. We are with the earners, it is what I would say.
We grew up in the
people hungry.
We grew up in the late 2D era, early 3D era, and now we have the spending power to make these sort of purchases. So a game like Mina the Hollower, leaning heavily on things like Link's Awakening, which is the Game Boy game. I remember as a child driving on holiday to the south of France, sat in the back of my mum and dad's car, playing. There's two games I will play the hell out of: Pokemon Red and Blue, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Yep. And I remember looking, as soon as that first thing I saw when I saw the art style of Mina the Hollower, the first few trailers, went, that's Zelda. That's Link's Awakening.
So,
and they've worked in a lot of horror theme from like Dark Souls, Castlevania, and it's like, ooh, this is interesting. And it doesn't have a physical release, from what I can tell.
I checked last night. Limited run games, get on it. Get on it.
Absolutely. You might get 2 copies, Chris.
I had a Link's Awakening.
A week early if Amazon send it.
I had the remake of Link's Awakening poster actually above my head, which I think it's still in the frame behind the map of Star Wars.
Yeah, the Game Informer said something that I think appeals to me and probably a lot of people experiencing, like, again, you said different generations, but there'll be a lot of young gamers who maybe the artwork doesn't appeal to them, but the price, because of everything else we've just discussed, maybe does more, and then the reviews and stuff come in. But yeah, it's Mina the Hollower. It's from Game Informer. They give it an 8.8. Said looks like a nostalgic throwback, and it undeniably is, but its thoughtful design and larger sensibilities make it play and feel like a contemporary video game, one that has taken the right lessons from the medium's history. I think that's very important as someone who didn't necessarily play the games you've described, they're the Zelda ones, but have nostalgia for that era. My worry is always like I'm going to get frustrated with the clunkiness of some of the exploration and obviously it was limited by the tech at the time. Now I can play it on a big wide 4K screen and go, actually, it's learnt a lot about shortcuts and mapping out where you need to go, where you need to look, or hints and tips, and making it more of an easier game in a lot of ways, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, it's for a modern audience, and I like that they've taken all that into account, and it sounds great. It's definitely one that I'm picking up just to enjoy the music, because the music in Shovel Knight was on point. So.
I never actually played Shovel Knight.
Oh, it's so good. You'd love it. You'd love it.
You would love it.
Now the question is...
Sorry, Control.
Oh, is this a Switch game?
I think it might be. That's what, when it didn't have a physical release, that's what I defaulted to. Is this a Switch 2 purchase?
I don't have a Switch 2. I don't think it's
get a Switch 2 first.
I don't think it's the game to buy the Switch 2. But I think this might be... if I get a gap in my gaming library for the year, I might go PlayStation. But it also could be, right, I buy a Switch 2, I'm getting Mina the Hollower for it. I don't know when I'm going to play this, but it is on my list of games that I now definitely want to play.
Well, remember the Switch 2 price is going up in September, Richie.
I might just have to pull the trigger. Talking about pull the trigger, Fable's been delayed. I'm not as upset about this anymore.
Same.
Now there's so many other awesome games coming out this year.
Yeah, they say in the article as well, it's predominantly because of GTA launch, and I don't think that's just GTA. I think it's Xbox's lineup is so stacked for the rest of autumn. Like, again, we're going to learn more this Sunday, but they've got Modern Warfare 4 to promote, and kind of like all of the other big Xbox titles. They've got Forza, which just came out, which is massively successful. They've got Gears of War E-Day and Halo to round out the 25th anniversary. I think between that, we're in June practically now. So in the last half of the year, I think Fable kind of gets watered down in that mix, and I think actually pushing it to February or March next year is probably the strongest option for it in and amongst all that.
Yeah, I think so. It's one of them where things like Halo and Gears of War and Forza, so much Xbox games, like define like the console. Obviously, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, we've talked about it this episode. Fable, as awesome as it is, could get lost in the mix a bit. Yeah, and I feel like they want to give it enough space to be its own game.
Yeah,
and
I agree. I mean,
they don't want to do a Ubisoft when they brought out Watch Dogs Legion. What do you call?
Oh yeah,
Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Got Immortals, yeah. Good pull, Richie. Well remembered.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you don't want to do that again. Well, Xbox haven't done it, but everyone looked at and went, "That's just stupid. All these games are getting in each other's way."
And you own them all.
Yeah.
I know.
You idiots.
So giving your games time to breathe, and it gives the devs a bit more time to do a bit more polish as well.
I mean, what you need to consider is the huge success of Forza Horizon 6. This is the same team.
Yep.
So, like, they might have just seen their numbers go through the roof for Forza. They've got a PS5 port to get out before the end of the year as well. And they might just went, we are stretched thin here. We need that more time. Like, Fables, it's tracking well. It looks good. We could do it, but... And then I think, the grander scheme, you look at that lineup, even just for, like, what we know about already. Remember, they went early with Call of Duty this week. So that means the showcase must be pretty stacked for second party as well for Sunday, for them to push one of their biggest entries out. But yeah, I do think in the mix. And there's games, like we said, Control, don't have a date for that yet. There's that Plague Tale spin-off that we don't have yet. So that's 2 on my radar that are going to push Fable further back. So yeah, I think you're completely right.
Wow.
Good thing to do.
Indeed. Another good thing to do is release Planet Zoo 2, because it's officially been revealed.
Ah, cool.
Have you watched the trailer for this? 'Cause I actually haven't yet. I'll be honest.
I mean, I haven't watched it, but I feel like I had a good idea what the trailer would be.
Chris, tell us about Planet Zoo 2.
Is that because you haven't read anything about it?
Yes, I think this was a late addition to the doc, and I didn't have a chance to read it.
I mean, it's just...
Your host, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, host. I mean, it's Planet Zoo 2. What more is there to say? It's if you've played Zoo Tycoon back in the day, the classic roller coaster tycoon spin-off. This is the spin-off equivalent of... trying to remember the name from... Frontier, Planet Coaster.
Yeah,
Planet Coaster.
So it's the same. It's the devs who worked on those games back in the day. They made their own studio. They, without copyright infringement, made Planet Coaster 1 and 2. Planet Zoo 1. They've then gone off and made 3 Jurassic World Evolution games in that time, which are all great in their own right, but should definitely just be a platform. It doesn't need 3 entries. It should just be a platform. And then here we are, Planet Zoo 2. Again, all the great stuff that you'd expect. New animals, new habitats, everything they've pretty much took from Jurassic World, actually, with the introduction of kind of aquatic species and stuff. They've kind of folded into that, but... yeah, it's just more. It launches on
13th
October 13th.
2026.
Oh, well done. Good save.
Nice one, Richie.
On
Good,
PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S.
It's one of those franchises, really. I think you can, like, if they've got the framework there from the Jurassic World Evolution games, you can just literally just be like, yeah, well, just take the framework and just apply the new assets on top of it, and lo and behold, you have your new game. So, cool.
All the inner workings of it are there, like all the behind the scenes stuff to do with like security, electricity, like plumbing, all that kind of like management stuff is there. They just need to flip, like I said, this building needs to not be Jurassic Park themed. This animal needs to change from a Triceratops to a rhino. Like, it's work to be done, but minimal in terms of like churning over a new entry. But you know what, I think Planet Zoo 2, just like Zoo Tycoon, it's one of them kind of like evergreen titles where I don't think they make any initial huge sales, but I do feel like it fits an audience of just like children, families, like people who have that itch. Like, it's probably one that I will buy and play at some point, but I've got no desire to do it imminently or at launch.
Yeah.
It'd probably go in Game Pass anyway.
Yeah, a few quick ones. Rocket League is being updated to Unreal 6. And it looks incredible.
Unreal?
It's Rocket League looking way better than it ever has. Because I think the old one was an Unreal 3.
Oh, yes, yeah, it was 10 years ago.
They're basically using this as a tech demo for Unreal 6 rather than some theoretical non-game that will never exist. Let's take a game you know, and a known beloved game, stick it in Unreal 6 and go, there you go, this is the power of this engine, which I think is a pretty cool way to do it.
Just to quickly touch on it, I don't know if you guys remember when they did the showcase for Unreal Engine 5 as well, when they showed off the nanites and how fucking fantastic that looked right at the point. So yeah, I mean, obviously Unreal Engine 6 is going to be a huge step up from that as well, for them to like iterate on the number.
Do you feel like we've never really seen the promise of Unreal 5 come to fruition?
Yes, absolutely. Like
we
all wanted.
I guess
that
it depends.
game.
I feel that at this console generation in general, that I don't feel the PS5 has lived up to the potential that was promised. I often think a lot of PS5 games... I don't think the console generation...
look
worse than PS4 games. Like I mentioned at the start of the show, 007 First Light does not look as good, to my eye, as Uncharted 4.
Yeah. There's a lot of... It's difficult because when people get their hands on the engine and want to make use of it, it does take a lot more resources to actually like fully utilize things like Unreal Engine 5. And then when you shift over to like the PC market space, you're again talking about this wide range of sort of like, what people actually have in terms of the hardware availability that you can't fully utilize it. So I think... as far as tech demos go, that's fantastic. It's showing you like the absolute utmost best potential
in a very controlled scenario, and developers will take elements of that, incorporate in the game rather than the whole thing.
Absolutely. So you always have to take these things with a pinch of salt. But if it's showing like what something can achieve, ultimately, great. But the reality is you've got to tone it down by maybe like 20% or so, and you're probably hitting the realistic sort of like next gen, this is what it could be like sort of vibe.
I think we've hit that like point where developers have hit a point of graphic fidelity where they go, we could easily push this to be way better on current hardware, on the current engines, but that would probably delay development for about maybe 2 or 3 years of optimization. And that makes the entire game much riskier, much more expensive. So let's just go with this is good enough. And I don't think that's a bad strategy because it gets games made, gets them out rather than just in this development hell.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Pokemon
good shit
has passed 515 million copies of their titles.
Wow.
Just a few small...
Winds and Waves is only going to add an additional 30 to 50 million extra.
Yeah.
You know what? It doesn't go away. Like I was out on the high street shopping the other day, and in the kids section, looking for some swimming gear for my daughter. They had up on like everything on the top banner. They had cardboard cutouts for Pikachu, Mario, and Sonic, and it was like, what decade am I living in? Because like I love it, but my word, like these franchises they're going to outlive us. Absolutely, hands down, not going anywhere. But yeah, 550. We just praised Bond for selling 1.5 million.
Well, Pokemon.
This is up there lashing it.
Think about it, Pokemon. This daft little cartoon we watched as kids is now the most successful multimedia franchise of all time.
Yep.
That's
like case in point again.
That's from our era. That's us. We did that, guys.
Yeah. My kid just the other day wanted a toy, and what toy did he get? He got a £9.99 Pokeball that is like a ripcord on it. It's got a Charmander Beyblade inside it, and it's literally like, I know, and just like, again, I'm vicariously living through him. Obviously, I'm going to get one as well, so we can battle them. But
yeah, of course,
It's again the next generation. It's just going to continue. It's like you said, we've established it. It is now its own living and breathing entity that just generates money. I mean, congratulations, Nintendo. You've done it, I guess.
I mean, Game Freak as well for somehow holding on to the rights to some degree and not selling out with it. Have you seen further in the article? It says how many printed trading card games have been printed. Trading cards, I guess, not games. 85 billion.
Jesus Christ.
Which represents a whopping 10 billion increase year on year.
And that's on top
of... So that is getting...
2 digital versions of the game.
85 billion cards in the wild. Imagine the tower you could make with them.
Imagine the amount of trees, Chris.
I very much doubt
I
very much doubt anyone from Corridor Crew is listening, but just on the off chance... I want to see you make a simulation of that tower.
How high it would be.
Yeah, of every single Pokemon card ever printed.
The funniest thing about all that is, out of the 85 billion trading cards sold, under 2% probably have ever played the game properly.
Yeah, sounds about right.
You don't get it to play the actual game.
Right.
Wow.
We're
So
over an
good.
hour and a half in the show. Are you too good to keep going? Yes.
Yeah,
just
showing off one
I
of
don't
my
think the
cards
rest
right
of the stories are all too...
Yeah, they're all fairly short. Just
Yeah.
worry about your time. PlayStation Plus games for June include Grounded Fully Yoked Edition, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, and Warhammer 40k Darktide.
Okay.
Decent.
Yeah, I think it's a good mix.
Free games again.
I'm not interested in All-Star Brawl, but I think Darktide and Grounded are actually pretty good gets for PlayStation Plus. Bear in mind, Grounded is technically an Xbox game.
It is.
It's, I think, a good mix for if you're a child, and I think heading into the summer holidays, giving Grounded and Nickelodeon All-Stars quite like appealing two games for the younger audience. Darktide's a bit of a pivot, not going to lie, from those two.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of like pound per pound quality, I think there's three decent games there.
And also EA Sports FC 26 is claimable up till the 16th of June.
Yes.
So that's been extended. So
I wonder if that's to lead into the World Cup, perhaps, which starts in the middle of
probably,
June.
yeah. But I'd say Grounded's probably... We had good fun playing Grounded, actually.
It was great fun, yeah. Great fun. Great game. And the
Gotta be
second one's
honest with
still
you.
in early access, right?
I
Yeah.
believe so. I don't want to check that right now. But I
But
think
speaking
so,
of
yeah.
second ones, I didn't even realise there was a Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 1. So for the second one,
There we go. All Stars does good on some regards, Tom, and it does bad in other regards. Am I right, Richie?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to beat up Garfield as Nigel Thornberry, it's a perfect game for you.
Yeah, it's a nice link into our next news story.
Where? Yeah, I did. Sorry. It's been a long show. PlayStation shuts down another live service title. PS5 exclusive Destruction All Stars is gone. Another one bites the dust.
I don't know anyone who played it.
Nope.
Because this was a PlayStation Plus game, though, right? They pivoted last minute. It was going to be full price, and then if I recall, leading up to launch, they were like, "Oh, we're going to actually give it away as PlayStation Plus." Because I'm guessing the pre-orders were shocking.
That we don't know anyone who played it.
Well, it was also early PS3, right? It came out in like the launch window, if I remember. It was like one of the first exclusive first-party titles, and it was rumored to be a Twisted Metal game, and then it wasn't. And then I think they said they were going to put the studio onto a Twisted Metal game, which hasn't seemingly materialized. But just, I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah,
Realistically,
when did it come out? I feel like this is one where the player base has dropped under that magical number for that magical length of time where it's time to start shutting down the servers. Like, we've supported it for long enough, but there's not enough people playing it to continue supporting. And this is always going to be the conversation with online games. Eventually, servers will be shut down, and that experience will be lost forever. February the 2nd, 2012. So it's
2012. How did
2021. So it's
which
5-year-old.
so literally launched 3 and a bit months after the PS5 did. So even with all that launch hype as like not a packing game, but you know when people are hungry for games, it just never quite had the stuff. Looked cheap, looked tacky. You would be better just playing Rocket League if that's what you're looking for, that type of game.
True that.
And now you can play it in Unreal 6.
Yeah. But do you know what does have the stuff, Richie? Subnautica 2.
Subnautica 2, because Krafton have lost their legal battle and they have to pay out $250 million to the developers after legal dispute. So Krafton, story short, Krafton basically try to get out of this, eventually sack the heads of the studio to avoid bonus payments. But they've hit a 4 million sales target, and courts in the US have agreed that Krafton has to pay out this.
Good.
Ooh.
Damn right, because honestly, the whole thing was a shitstorm, from the beginning. It was this whole joke about, Krafton CEOs just sitting there typing away on ChatGPT, how can I get out of this claim that I made that I would pay them? Oh yeah, sack the CEOs, get them off. That obviously happened. Shit ton of backlash. All of a sudden, the CEOs get reinstated. Krafton come out with a typical bullshit, we're sorry video and things.
We're sorry.
Here we're at.
They tried to say they were like behind on deadlines and stuff, weren't they? And that was why they were dismissed. And it was like, we're ahead on deadlines, we're ready to go. They tried to pull it from Steam Early Access, didn't it? They kind of said the game wasn't ready, and they were like,
absolutely.
No, it is good to go.
Yeah, Krafton were trying to like literally block the Early Access release, because that would have been a milestone for them.
Yeah.
A publisher trying to block the release of their own game because they agreed at what is probably in
payout.
In Krafton's point of view, a stupid deal that they probably never expected Subnautica to come anywhere close to this, but you signed the paperwork, guys.
God, it baffles me at how immediately rich these devs are now, because it's not a big team.
Yeah.
And not only do they not have to work with Krafton, they've went and formed their own studio now in Unknown Worlds. They're now absolutely minted to do their own project or just retire, quite frankly.
I'm pretty sure as well that the CEOs even said that they would evenly share the money as well. They're not talking about like, CEOs of like 90% of it with the other 10% going to the company. No, they've been quite vocal about saying that the team deserve it.
If you think about it, this studio is definitely not going to be 250 people strong.
No.
So every single person is getting more than $1 million.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's literal life-changing money.
Imagine if you were an intern, just got a promotion just as this all popped off to like from intern to like basic level designer, you'd be like, oh, what?
If there's 50 people who worked on this game, every single one of them gets $5 million.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd just retire. I don't know people who keep working when they're that rich. I'd be like, I just live off the interest.
You wouldn't have to. Exactly. You can just invest it and just live on put it in savings and live off it. But I will say, just doing a quick bit of maths on the backs, like on the side of it as well. It's funny that they're having to pay out that amount of money because they haven't even though 4 million seems like a big number, it's not even actually turned over that much revenue for them yet.
Yeah.
Like it's in fact, sorry, let me say that again. It hasn't turned over that much revenue for them yet because it's sitting at around about, and this is before Steam's 30% cut or so. We're talking like it's nearly made 100 million, and that's based on the UK price in the store. I don't know what it's like elsewhere, but there we go. I mean, Krafton must be sitting there now, absolutely just thinking, "Yeah, we fucked up."
Yeah.
What game did they think they were funding? Like that's what baffles me. Like you're talking, I think. First Light was rumoured to have a budget of 200 mil.
Someone's fucked up a decimal point in this contract.
Yeah, 25 million would be a stretch, but 250, like my word.
A 25 million bonus payout to the studio on the back of $100 million dollar turnover would be pretty nice. That's a 25%
more than
bonus.
Reasonable.
That is more than reasonable. But what they're getting is 2.5 times. The revenue.
It's something you could only ever dream of, isn't it? Yeah. It's like, or not even dream of it.
It just absolutely baffles, doesn't it?
Krafton are clearly the villains of the story, but you can totally see why they've been trying to get out of this.
I'm just glad it's resolving this way. It's just too funny.
Does this cripple them? Like, is this the
$150 million out of pocket?
Exactly.
I don't think that's enough to take Krafton out of the game.
Not with how strong PUBG was. And still remains to be. But talking about games that keep going strong, Dragon Quest is celebrating its 40th anniversary with the announcement, the long-awaited announcement of Dragon Quest 12. But unfortunately, it's still way off. But it's nice to actually finally see something about Dragon Quest 12.
Does it say? Why have they renamed it?
They haven't. It's Dragon Quest 12. Oh, actually, you're right. It used to be The Flames of Fate. Now it's Beyond Dreams.
Ah, okay.
Oh, I think that's part of it is... so part of the story is they actually announced that they were working on Dragon Quest 12, scrapped the whole thing, and started again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's probably the reason for that's probably the reason for the rename and the reason why it's been such a long time since Dragon Quest 11.
say you are our resident Dragon Quest guy, Richie.
Yeah.
So what does
Yes,
this
I
do
have
for
played
you?
one of them. I have played one Dragon Quest.
It's Dragon Quest Quantum of
It's one more
Solace.
than me, mate. It's one more than me.
I should call my girlfriend in for this because she's played the remakes of 1, 2, 3, and 7.
Wow.
So she is the
And
expert.
11, yeah. So she's the resident Dragon Quest.
Well, you're
expert.
closer to the expert than we are, then.
Yeah,
He knows.
we haven't seen a lot. To me, it looks like the next Dragon Quest, and I really enjoyed Dragon Quest 11. That was more than I was expecting to. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing more about this game. But it is a case of, okay, it's nice to see it back on track. Hopefully we'll see more in the next year or so.
Yeah, you don't want them monkeying around developing it, do you?
No. Talking about monkeying around.
Hey, he's getting
We're on a
there.
roll
Sonic
today, guys.
is live in
A barrel roll.
Donkey Kong 64 has finally made its way to Switch Online.
Cool.
That must be the last of the top quality 64 games left, right?
Maybe, yeah, it's got to be getting there.
I've seen people campaigning for Donkey Kong 64. Like, why isn't it there?
I've never really played it.
I think I've played it on the like the mini SNES that they put out.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, we're kind of being actually. No, it must have been emulated.
Yeah,
I might be thinking of Donkey Kong Country then. Maybe I've never played it.
maybe.
Yeah, I think this
It
is
just
Donkey
gives
Kong's
me-
first 3D game.
It just gives me hope that maybe we'll be getting Diddy Kong Racing at some point. That's
Diddy
the only
Racing,
thing I can think of.
That's a good race, kart racer. Right
Do you know,
there.
we on a very quick sidebar, we booted up Crash Team Racing again earlier today, and I'm surprised at the amount of actual content that I missed. Like, I didn't realise they added like even more characters beyond like. Yeah,
They could have done
wow.
more if they did the Spyro characters and other IP that Xbox own. Actually, I know we're not really doing predictions because it's been a massive show as it is, but Xbox Showcase, I think we see, or the Jeff Keighley thing, I think we see a new Spyro game from Toys for Bob.
Yep.
It's
Don't
been
do that to
overdue.
me.
It's time.
Don't do that to me.
I'm telling you, forget Witcher and Cyberpunk, Tom. It's all about Spyro.
Are you going to say
this-
PlayStation? You is the Astrobot as well?
I mean, I think we did theorize last week about Astro
We
Bot.
theorised that last
Probably
week,
one of
yeah.
them because it took them 3 years to make the first one. It's been 2.5 years since the last one.
Yeah.
So even if they want to tease it at the state of play,
Have you
it's
tried
not
it?
unfeasible.
Have you tried the most recent DLCs? They are so insanely hard after you haven't played for ages.
Oh yeah,
I give up on
I'm
them
good.
straight. I give up on them very quick.
I'm banking on training my daughter up to a point where she's more acclimatized and credible than me, and I'll let her do things.
Because before I went on holiday, I played Astro's Playroom, got the platinum, and I was like, right, I've got a bit of time still. I'm going to play Astrobot.
Yeah.
I'm going to try the DLCs. Went, no, I'm going to just not play that. And now
Yeah,
I'm going
kids
to play
game, by the
Pokemon
way.
instead.
Kids game, yeah, absolutely.
Kids
Yeah,
game,
I
by
was
the way.
playing Pokemon Shining Pearl for a bit before I started 007, just as a
Fair.
time filler. Yeah. And final story of the week. Sonic the Hedgehog is live in concert,
Nice.
starting in September 2026 over in the US, and I think it's February in next year in the UK.
Ooh. Now, what are tickets? Because you know what, I haven't really played many Sonic games, but if you're telling me I can knock back a couple of pints, just shut my eyes and have an orchestra play me like
Yep.
Green Hill Zone music or something, I'd just be like,
Now, I think this is going to be awesome. The dates in the UK are limited when I find them. So, the first day is the February 17th in Glasgow, and it's basically a 4-day run going to Edinburgh, Manchester, and finishing off in Birmingham on the 20th.
just avoid the north. We don't like Sonic up here, apparently.
Yeah,
We're going to go from Scotland down to Manchester.
Hey man, day trip
Yeah.
to Edinburgh. I'd rather do to Edinburgh than Birmingham, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Sorry, Birmingham.
The
people.
issue for us is one of our friends is getting married on the 20th of February.
Oh, I guess we'll have
So-
to take the concert to him.
It's not impossible, but maybe tricky. It's a shame that
reckon
there's
we
only 4
could,
dates.
I'm sure
could
he'd
s-
understand.
Yeah,
we could sneak in a couple of Sonic tracks to the DJ.
yeah. I mean, we could do the Edinburgh one on the 18th.
Just saying. Just saying.
We need to talk. I think we need to talk about this.
Road trip, road trip, road trip.
Indeed. But that's all we have for you in the news. We like to end up every single week with This Week in Video Game History, starting on May the 29th. What's something that you two?
For me, what caught my eye was a couple of the Wii U games. We got 12 years ago, Mario Kart 8, the best-selling Mario Kart of all time. And then we also got...
It was the only Mario Kart for 12 years.
And then 11 years ago, we got Splatoon. So
we did.
They're quite keen on releasing a big title in and around now over at Nintendo. In fact, 19 years ago, in 2007, we got Mario Party 8. Yeah. So they seem to like May 29th for big releases.
They do. I think I'd have to stick with you right there. There's obviously that notorious Nintendo 64 Superman game that came out as well, right there. Although it was not Superman 64, was it? So Superman 64 was the bad one, if I remember correctly.
One of the worst games of all time.
The green smoke or whatever, the rings, or whatever it was.
Yeah. I'd have to say, we're looking pretty much across the board at those defining Wii U games that have obviously generated essentially, like, the Splatoon itself has just created itself a franchise, hasn't it, at this point?
Yeah.
Splatoon Raiders on the horizon. Yeah, and Splatoon Raiders as well. That one's coming out at some point.
I do want to highlight, I know Nintendo have a lot of slop going on. Have you seen what came out today on the Switch 2? Dead Gears Space of War.
Well,
okay,
that's a name.
There's definitely some combination that would maybe... Oh, even the artwork is...
Oh, no. Even the company that's developed and published it is called Consan Real Estate.
How does this slip through Nintendo's...
I don't know.
What?
I usually skip the ones out today or in the last, 1 or 2 years, because when you look at them, half of them are porn games.
Can I just point out? I've just done a slight segue, slight deep dive on this. The company Consan Real Estate, right? Back in January earlier this year, they released a game on the Switch 2 called Legacy of Schnauz Horror Room Escape. Schnauz spelled Schnaus. And prior to that, on November the 28th, 2025, on the Switch, they released Hellblood Inferno. This is the full name, by the way. Hellblood, Inferno Retro Shooter. Retro Shooter is part of that game's name.
Someone forgot to delete the kind of subcontext out of the title. The description's leaked into the title copy and paste job there.
You've got to get the SEO in there.
Sometimes I just feel like, sorry, again, if anybody who works for Consan Real Estate is listening to the podcast right now, I am really sorry. But it just sounds like it sounds like such a money laundering scheme.
Yeah. Stick to selling houses and property and stop copyrighting Gears of War, you thieves. As someone who knows about copyright infringement recently.
Yeah, it sounds like your job is to make shovelware games that are just good enough to pass Nintendo's checks, so that vulnerable people end up buying crap.
The cover art is literally a big red gear with a buff dude in front.
Yeah,
it's is that the Gears of War font?
It will be. Yeah, they've probably got it
from
font.
Close enough. But
they've probably got it from the font or something.
Yeah. 10 quid on the Nintendo store.
May the 31st, 27 years ago, on the PC, Worms Armageddon.
Oh, wow. That's a good shout. That is a good one, that is.
Hell yeah.
I was struggling for anything else interesting, to be honest. I was like, that's good.
27 years ago, 1999, Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. Me and my brother loved that one back in the day.
Shout.
Classic. Yeah. Not a great game, but platformers were platformers, right? Just take any IP and make them jump around in a couple of colourful lands, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
Video games, folks.
Anything else that jump out at you, Sue?
No, I just want to say thank you to Richie for his amazing hosting skills this week.
Thank you.
I'm rusty and slightly ill, but I got through it. Because that is all we have time for this week. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you keep the loop of all of amazing channel. If you want to try and pick up some merch, why not check out a t-shirt, such as the one Chris is wearing, or the one I'm wearing.
It's one of my favourites. The one Tom's wearing
Not the
from
one
a totally
I'm
different
wearing.
website.
Tom, you never know. Message him on Discord, links below, he might sell yours.
Do that.
Yeah. It'll pay for a Steam Deck.
No, it won't.
Exactly.
All the links to our socials in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Richie.
I've been Chris.
I've been present.
GG everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.